Welcome to Healthcare Economics, Policy and Economics. My name is Diane Lebanowski, and I will be your instructor for these next 8 weeks. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the class and give you some pointers about how to be successful. First of all, one of the most important things you can do is go to your news area on this website, and this is where I will put announcements and things that are important for you to know about the class. So my first announcement is about me. I am welcoming you to the class, and I'm telling you a little bit about myself. I will tell you that you can reach me via email, and I will most likely get back to you within 24 hours. I do have another full-time online teaching job, so sometimes I get a little busy, but I do try to get back within 24 hours and 48 hours over the weekend. A little bit about my background is I have an extensive background in nursing education. I've worked in a university, a 2-year school, and online, and I'm master certified to teach online. So I really enjoy working with nursing students, whether it's in a face-to-face setting or online. I find it has been my passion, and I do also, like I said, look forward to working with you. Now, scrolling down on these news, on the news area, you will find that I have a few announcements, and will add during the next 8 weeks. So please, again, read these announcements. The two that I'm going to talk to you about today is the course policy and then the Turnitin. The course policy, I have a few, and that is my late policy is that any paper that is late will receive a 10% grade reduction. However, I do understand that you're very busy, that you're working and possibly have families or other commitments. So if you do email me and let me know it was a hectic week, I will allow you to turn the paper in a couple days late, as long as it's in before the next session or next module is due. However, please do not take advantage of that. It's sort of a one-time thing or two-time things. If you're habitually late, you may receive a 10% grade deduction. After 1 week, if you have not communicated with me and there is no assignment turned in, that assignment will be given a 0. In this particular course, in this 8 weeks, there are no additional activities, and I will be making that change in this announcement. You have 2 discussion questions every week, so you don't have the option. If you were taking the 10-week course, it's a little bit different, but this one is the 2 discussion questions, which I will show you when I go to that part. The other thing I want to talk to you about is plagiarism. You all are submitting your papers through Turnitin, and this course policy is anything below 25% I usually will allow. When I start seeing someone handing papers in consistently at 25%, I might send you a feedback saying, keep an eye on that. Anything above 25 to 30%, I will check through the filters. However, anything over 30%, you will get a 0 for that, and I will tell you, you will need to resubmit the paper and email me when it's done. So please be aware that you save yourself a lot of time if you check your Turnitin score before you turn it in and make the changes ahead of time. You can turn your paper in through the Dropbox more than once. Just label the one. If you have a Turnitin score of, let's say, 40, and then you get it down to 30, and then you get it down to 20, then that last one, put, please read this one, or this is the one I want you to grade. So here's some information on Turnitin. You can go ahead and go back and read that. The next thing I want to go through you with is your syllabus. And this is an overview of the school, those types of things. I'm going to skip right to the syllabus. And it contains some of the same information as the overview. The first part of this is the overview of Aspen University. Then we get down to this course, and this course is related to healthcare, finance, reimbursement, legislative process, policies, our role in all of this. How do we advocate for consumers? I think that you'll find it's a very interesting course. I think you'll find the discussion boards really fun when you start sharing your information among your classmates. I am not going to read over all the objectives, but you may go ahead and do that. The book that you need to have is the 2016 edition of Policy and Politics for Nurses and Other Health Professionals. The next thing I'd like to do is talk to you about what is required. So I'm going to go through the modules. This basically talks about that. This talks about your grade. Told you about when I would be available. We talked about academic honesty and Turnitin, getting your work in on time, and we'll talk about this in the discussion board. This tells you a little bit about how to be successful. What I find with online classes is you are not showing up in a classroom. This is a virtual classroom, so you really have to set aside time for when can I do this, when can I get this done, so you stay on top of your assignments, stay on top of the discussion boards. All right, this is an example of a module. This is module 1, and it tells you when your work is due. Your discussion board posts, you will have 2, are due on Thursday. The rest of the work, the extra, are your replies to your classmates, and your paperwork is due on Monday evening, Mountain Standard Time, 11:59. When you're going through a module, click on the blue, and it will give you the overview, the objectives, what you need to do for that week. This is a your discussion question. So you have 2 discussion questions, which you will be posting your initial post by Thursday and replying to 2 other of your classmates. And what I expect from you in these discussion posts is that you post something scholarly. So that means you will have a citation with a reference within your post using APA format. And if possible, you ask a question at the end. I have found that if you ask a question, it helps your classmates respond to your posts, gets everybody thinking, and it increases our critical thinking on the discussion board and for ourselves. You also have a discussion board rubric that looks at content, critical thinking, how you're stating it, your style, that type of thing that goes along with the assignment. The post should be around 400 words. You don't have to sit and count. I think you won't have a problem finding that out. And your replies should also be scholarly. They don't have to be as long, but good post, way to go, probably won't get you all your points. Remember, when you're replying to your classmates or to me, you address the person by the first name and use netiquette, being civil, being respectful of everybody's thoughts and content that they are doing. So basically, in 1 through 7 modules, you have 2 discussion questions, and then here's the second one, and then you will have a paper that is due. Please read the